what to do with your medical degree. You've graduated from medical school. Now you have to make some more big decisions about which area of medicine you'd like to go into or which specialty you'd like to go into. There's several things to consider, several considerations and parameters to consider. For example, do you want to work few hours, reasonable hours, or extremely long hours? In other words, go all out. Would you like to go into a thinking area of medicine, such as neurology, pediatrics, or psychiatry, or a procedural area, such as radiology or surgery, where you use your hands? You know, governments don't put much value on the thinking specialties. They pay very poorly. It's quite surprising, actually, and it's actually very disappointing for many young graduates. In the last week, I've heard of 2 young psychiatrists who have quit because they feel that the insurance companies and governments don't put enough value in terms of remuneration for all the long training and the effort put into it. Another thing you need to consider is, are you going to go into academic or public job, state or public hospital, or go into private practice? You may even consider doing missionary work or working with MSF. Great work and very idealistic, but you know, it doesn't pay anything and you still have bills to pay. You may want to put your children through private schools, so you have to be independently financially secure or wealthy to be able to pursue those lines. Now, putting all these considerations together, I propose looking at this simple graph. Here it is, and along the x-axis here we use the objective criteria of money. I'll explain a little later why we use that, and we show how these other parameters influence it. For example, if you work just ordinary hours or a lot of hours, you move up this curve. If you go into a thinking specialty or a procedural specialty or surgery, you move further up this curve. If you go into academic or public job versus going into private, you move way up this curve in terms of income. Now, let's look at a few examples. For example, if you want to be a surgeon in private practice and you work long hours, so that brings you up one step. You're going into a surgical specialty, up again, another step, and you're going into private practice, so you're going to max out your income. Okay, let's try another example. Let's say you want to be a professor of pediatrics. Well, you're going to have to work long hours, so you go up here, but you're in a thinking specialty, so you stay here. Next, you may want to, if you're going to be in academic practice, that is, be a professor, so you come down again. So your income's going to be pretty ordinary. Okay, now let's consider a radiologist. Okay, you go into radiology, you don't want to work long hours, so you stay around here, but it is procedural, so you go up one step, and you say you're going to be a private practice, you're going way up there. So you're almost at the income level of a hard-working surgeon and private. Considerations to things to think about. Now, I know income's not everything. It's just an objective parameter on which to gauge these other considerations that you may have. And as you get on a bit, you have expenses to pay, rent, etc. So you've got to be a little aware of income, and you should be rewarded for all your training and your hard work. But you know, in conclusion, go into something you really enjoy, do a good job, and look after your patients well. Well, I hope this very simple approach to making a decision based on some very simple parameters is useful to you in your career.